Hi everybody! In this quick video, I'm gonna show you how to generate Revit API stubs for any Revit version. This will allow you to have Revit API autocomplete for the correct version in your code editors. To do that, we need to go to Revit and open pyRevit extension. If you don't have pyRevit extension, you can go to pyrevitlabs.io where you can download the latest release. And at the moment it's supported up to 2024, but they already show great progress for making it work for 2025. So it can come out any moment now. Alright. Once you're going to go to pyRevit tab, you need to click right here on pyRevit pull-down menu and then go to extensions. We need to activate one of the built-in extensions right here. You will see right here there is pyRevit development tools made by Eshan Nejad. I'm just going to click here on enable. You need to wait a moment, it's just going to reload your pyRevit, and you're going to have a new pyRevit toolbar. Now you can see we get some kind of warning, but it doesn't matter. I can close this window, and then right here we need to look for pyRevit development toolbar, which is right here. Inside of it, we're interested in developer tools, and specifically there's a tool to generate API stubs, and it works like a charm. Just click on it. Right here, you need to select a folder where you want to save stubs for the currently open Revit version. In my case, I'm going to write Revit 2024, and I'm going to select this empty folder. Once I do that, you will see that it generates stubs for different libraries. Here is for Autodesk, pyRevit Labs, and so on. We can copy one of these paths to open the folder location. And then here it is. You'll see that there is pyRevit Labs and Autodesk folders, Revit, DB, and all of that. However, we're not done because we still need to fix something in this folder structure. But before we're gonna do that, let's go to pyCharm, so I'm gonna show you what's wrong. At the moment, I have my Revit API 2023 stubs activated. So I can write here from Autodesk, Revit, DB, and so on. It works. Now, we are creating the one for Revit 2024. So we can go to Interpreter Settings. Then here I'm going to show all. And I'm going to delete this one for 24 right now. Let's imagine that we don't have anything. Now, we need to create a new virtual environment. I can either click here on the plus sign, or we can go back and right here is Add Interpreter button. Same thing. We're going to create a new one. We need to specify a new folder. I'm gonna add here a folder, Revit API 24 tutorial. Let's click on it. Now make sure you have some base interpreter here. We're gonna click on OK. This is gonna create you a brand new virtual environment where you won't have any autocomplete. Just to verify it, I'm gonna come here from Autodesk. You can see nothing. Now what we have to do, we'll go to Interpreter Settings, then we're gonna show all. And in here, find your new virtual environment. In my case, it's Revit API 24 tutorial, and click right here on Add Interpreter Paths. Then we can add this path which we just created for our stubs right here. And click on OK. Now, when you're gonna do this, you're still not gonna have any autocomplete. I can write from Autodesk, Revit, DB, it shows me nothing. And this is okay. Let's open the folder structure where we saved our stubs and have a look inside. You'll notice that when you go through, you don't have any init files here. But usually when we work with a package or the stubs, you should have lots of init files. But if I'm gonna go to DB, for example, you'll notice that right here I have this dunder init file. And it has a file extension pyi, which is used for the stubs. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna copy the name of the file, not copy file itself, because you can see it's not empty. I'm gonna go out to Autodesk, and we're gonna create a new file right here. I'm gonna create text document, and I'm gonna call it exactly the same. There should be underscore underscore init, then underscore underscore dot pyi. Click on enter and make sure that you make it a file extension. If you don't see a file extension, click here on the view, show, you will see there's file name extension. But you can also see the type right here, it says pyi file. Now we're gonna copy this. You don't have to open it, you don't have to write anything. As long as Python can see it inside the folder, it knows that it can treat it as a package, in this case more like a stubs. And now we need to make sure that this file is located in every nested folder. So I'm gonna come and paste it here. In UI it already exists, in all of this it already exists, and I don't need to add it anywhere else. I think I go out, then in pyRevit Labs also, I'm gonna drop one here, I'm gonna drop one here, then we have one. And then here it's all okay, and in the common it's also all okay. We just need to create a few of those in the beginning. So now look, in Revit 24 where you have Autodesk and pyRevit Labs, you don't have to have this init file. This is kind of your base path. But inside of them, everywhere you should have this dunder init file. Dunder is when you have this double underscore on each side. All right, I think now I have enough, but look at this. When I'm gonna write from Autodesk, I still have nothing because I need to update my interpreter. And for this, I'm gonna click here on the bottom, click interpreter settings. Then I'm gonna again show all of them. Then this tutorial, click here on show paths. And we can click right here to update it. However, sometimes we actually need to restart pyCharm so it actually starts to work. So I'm gonna try from Autodesk and you can see it doesn't work. However, if I'm gonna close my pyCharm and reopen it again, then it should actually start working. Just give it a moment to open up. Now let's have a look. I'm gonna go to interpreter settings, then show all, find my interpreter, click here, and here is the path. Everything is good. Now let's try from Autodesk, Revit, DB, import everything. Now everything works correctly. And now let's quickly test if it actually works and it's Revit API for 2024. I already found a method in Revit API that only exists in 2024. And it's inside field region class, create masking region. You can see it's missing in all prior versions. So theoretically, if I'm gonna write here field region and then create, and right there I can see the autocomplete. I can click on it, I can hold Ctrl click on Q and I see the docstring. So Revit API autocomplete actually works. And now if I'm gonna switch to Revit 2023, I'm gonna remove this. Then I'm gonna write here field region, create masking, and there's absolutely nothing because this method doesn't exist in Revit 2023. And also guys, if you need to set it up for Visual Studio Code, pretty much the same thing. You need to come here and click on extensions, then find your Python extension and right click and click right here on the extension settings. Then go to here where you have Python autocomplete extra paths, click on edit in settings. And this is where your paths are defined. And when you're going to be defining paths for your Revit API development, you would need your path for Revit API Stubs, but only choose one version. Then don't forget to add your pyRevit masters pyRevit library folder, so you can also import things from pyRevit. And don't forget your custom folder as well, which normally you would have right here in your .dot extension and then in the lib folder. Just copy this path, put it in there as well, and it's gonna be fine. Thank you for watching. I hope that it helped you to create your Revit API stubs and your autocomplete actually works. However, if you have any issues, I recommend you to check these two videos. One is for pyCharm and the other one is for Visual Studio Code. In there, I will take you step by step to set up your Revit API autocomplete, and I'm gonna spend a little bit more time explaining it. And now, as always, I wish you happy coding and huge thanks to my supporters. Goodbye.